The Rio Tinto Emergency Services Rescue Plan Manual provides emergency services personnel with information on core skills, rescue methods and drills required to be an effective member of an operational team. It also provides responders with a study guide and reference material when practicing or delivering rescue skills and drills during training sessions. The manual is divided into sections based on technical discipline and forms part of the overarching Emergency Response Plan compendium. The ERP is a group-wide plan which incorporates the Mayday procedure, rescue plans, incident control documentation and associated supporting documentation for emergency use. The ERP compendium is designed to provide support for the emergency response team and business resilience team in the event of an incident that could have significant impact on the site. The rescue plans are simple to follow illustrations with associated considerations, ERT manning, PPE, equipment and operational checklists to manage the incident effectively. The booklet should be placed in the ERP compendium and individually issued to responders for their personal reference. There are many types of incidents that can occur on site. However, the incidents that are associated with the site critical risks or critical risk management are of significant importance. Critical risks are controlled by various control methods including elimination, engineering, substitution and administration. However, in the event these controls are ineffective, an emergency response method may be employed. The table defines the appropriate emergency services discipline to be the associated critical risk. Each major operation will have a full-time emergency response capability. The capability and limitations are outlined in the site risk profile map. The handbooks can be easily referenced in the field, during training and live events. The rescue plans are reviewed annually in October and printed prior to the start of the year. The system is based on a 4-step response platform which includes the initial information, checklist, SMEAC and SITREP. This guarantees that all vital management and information functions are performed. The initial report provides responders with brief details on the incident, which will initiate the response. Details such as type of incident, location, and how many people are affected. Typically, the more quality information that is provided at this point will directly reflect the level of initial response. The OIC checklist is a series of prompts to ensure key items have been addressed at an incident. There are 3 priority levels for driving emergency vehicles. Priority 3 is normal road conditions, no lights or sirens. Priority 2 is responding with lights and sirens, adhering to all road rules and posted speed limits. Priority 2 should be the mode of response for the majority of Mayday and emergency events. In the event the incident escalates to immediate threat to life, Priority 1 conditions may apply. The acronym SMEAC is a useful shorthand way to remember how to brief and how briefings are conducted. This is important for the OIC and the response team and gives a routine and expected structure to the information flow. SITREP is an abbreviation for a situation report. Situation reports are periodic updates on a particular situation. This video shows the full suite of rescue plans currently in use within Rio Tinto. The incident controller will determine the most suitable plan or plans to apply to the incident. Bushfires in Australia are common and present a significant risk to people, environment and assets. It is important that sites have an effective bushfire response capability and regularly rehearse and exercise the plans. Operating quarters is a safe operating method for pump and roll operations to maintain line of sight with the branch operator. Essentially, the vehicle is not to move unless the branch operator is in line of sight of the driver. Basic flank attack, utilising one appliance working in the black. 2 appliance flank attack. First appliance is the knockdown appliance and the second appliance is the mop up. 2 appliances in operation, one working on each flank. Back burning is an effective method of firefighting, however there is a degree of complexity involved. A lot of conditions need to be met, including approval prior to proceeding. Utilising machines is also an effective method of containment. Machines should always be under escort with a firefighting vehicle and have suitable communications. Power and transmission corridors can be used to form effective containment line. However, there are considerable safety hazards when working in these areas. The dead man zone is the area directly around a bushfire that is likely to burn within 5 minutes given the current wind conditions or anticipated change in wind direction. Crews should work from safe points such as burnt ground or containment lines. Crews should be familiar with the full features of the crew protection system. See the burn over drill video for more information. Vertical rescue skills are used to safely rescue people trapped at height or depth. The basic snatch and grab operation. Twin line belay system with either a 3-to-1 or 5-to-1 hauling system. Same system again, however utilising a tripod for height advantage. Same system again, utilising a twin line floating anchor system. Twin line belay system utilising a fire ladder as a slide for the stretcher. The mid-pitch rescue is utilised for a suspended casualty. Example of a belay and haul system over a tip head. Example rescue methods for a dozer on a stockpile. Example of a floating anchor over a headboard on HME. Example of accessing a digger on a bench. Another example of a floating anchor on HME. Example of a belay and haul utilising a fire ladder on a dozer. And a typical example of a common haul point. Water rescue technique for floodways. And a vertical rescue technique for working off wharfs. Demonstrating an equalising anchor point with suspect anchor points. Confined space rescue is a subset of technical rescue operations that involve the rescue and recovery of victims trapped in a confined space. Snatch and grab is the basic and most common form of rescue. Twin line and belay, horizontal mode. Technique of using a tripod in straddle mode. Utilising a tripod for height advantage in adjacent mode. Utilising apparatus such as the Arachnipod in adjacent mode. Twin line floating anchor for height advantage. and a combination of the other 6 plans to form the rescue. Mid-pitch rescue for when a casualty is suspended in a confined space. Containing uncontrolled hazardous material is a complex and challenging task requiring a range of different response methods to ensure safety and protection of the environment. This is the typical systematic approach for a HAZMAT incident. Acetylene fires are considered a high-risk response incident. Incidents involving the AN facilities or MPU vehicles are also considered high-risk response incidents. To ensure consistency in our response, the bomb threat operational checklist and user checklist are in line with the DFS SOPs. Structural fires are defined as any fire that encompasses a man-made structure of sorts, for example, buildings, haul trucks, houses, or light vehicles. The chemical makeup of many manufactured materials result in fires reaching hotter temperatures faster. Flashovers occur more rapidly, and the resulting smoke is much more toxic. This is the systematic approach for HME firefighting. Suspect hot tyre or tyre fire. And the actions for each class of tyre fire, 1, 2 and 3. Truck to truck, utilising other HME in the working area. Locomotive safety includes safe work clearances and how to stop a manned train. E-stop positions and fire suppression activation point locations. The systematic approach for firefighting locomotive. Systematic approach for a fire in a confined space. Systematic approach for aviation firefighting for those sites with active aerodromes. The next 3 plans are for elevated structural fires at varying heights. The plans comprise of suitable staging area, key considerations, approximate hose lays and pump output from common appliances such as the light tankers and the HSRs. The Barrio system is the latest technology in PPE that forms a complete management cycle for the response, decontamination and the reinstatement to operational readiness. There is an extensive list of resources, both internal and external, available on the Barrio SharePoint page. This should be the primary location for locating Barrio documentation and reference material. Vehicles and driving is one of the company's greatest risks. Road crash and technical rescue skills form part of the controls for these risks. The systematic approach should be used for all road crash rescue events. Side stabilisation tooling is very effective in maintaining the stability of a vehicle. Heavy lifting bags are effective systems for lifting heavy loads off trapped casualties. Utilising other HME for stabilisation is also an effective method. When HME makes contact with power lines, step potential voltage may be present, as well as the risk of a tyre explosion. Safe distances should be maintained for fallen power lines. Emergency fleet vary in type, operation and capability. It is imperative responders understand the limitations of emergency vehicles to ensure an effective response. This includes pump output, locker and equipment configuration, as well as procedural methods for operation. Know your gear. The key to building a strong emergency services team is to ensure that knowledge is shared, understood, applied and deployed rapidly. Debriefing an incident can also generate valuable lessons learned that can be considered for implementation in future operations. Hot debriefings are conducted at the scene of the incident post-completion. This style of debriefing is an effective way to obtain feedback quickly whilst information is fresh. The session is always a good way to regroup, retask, check welfare and discuss next steps. The debriefing process should always remain positive and constructive at all times.